What's up, guys? I'm Earl, the Rookie Woodworker, and for today's video I'm going to work on a spline jig.
What's a spline jig?
I'll tell you what a spline jig is, other Earl. A spline jig is a jig that straddles your table saw fence. It fits in that fence nice and tightly. And on the side that has the table saw blade, you have a V that's attached to it. And that V comes down to a perfect 90-degree angle. Now what you use this jig for is to add splines to joints like miter joints. Miter joints are inherently kind of weak, so you want to do something to add a little strength to them. Otherwise, a little slight mishap and they fall down and they just kind of fall apart. Or Father Time gets involved, a little bit of wood movement happens and they just kind of fall apart with time. So what this jig does is you slide it over top of the table saw while it's mounted within that V. It cuts a nice groove right into the corner, and you fill that corner with a piece of wood that perfectly slides right in there. Glue it all in there nice and tightly, and it adds the strength that joint needs to last a lifetime.
Excellent.
So with that being said, let's get to it.
Excellent.
What is going on? Did you know he existed? What in the world is this is crazy. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is take some measurements. I'm only going to take 2 measurements. I'm going to get the height of my fence. 2 and... looks like 2 5/8. And the width of my fence, which is going to be... I think it's supposed to be 4 inches, but it looks like it's about a 32nd more than 4 inches. Wide. And then those are the only 2 really important measurements, other than making sure I have a 45-degree perfect angle on my pieces that get mounted to the side of this thing. The rest of it, I'm just going to kind of wing it and make a guess as to how big I need this thing to be for future projects. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so I found these pieces of scrap here. Oh, I didn't mention that I was going to make this out of scrap wood. It's a good scrap wood project. No need to buy a whole sheet of 3/4 inch plywood to do this. Just do it out of the scraps you have laying around. But I found this big piece here. I think it's a good size to fit my V there. It has a lot of material sticking up past the center bridge. That way I can clamp my work pieces to this material. This side here, I originally was going to make it the same height as what this piece is, but I think I'm going to make it a little bit taller and add another piece that goes across here as a handle instead of just pushing the jig itself across there. I think a handle would be a little added convenience maybe, so it'd be pretty comfortable to push it across like that. Alright, so pretty much right away I changed my mind and decided to cheat on that piece of wood with a longer piece of wood because I want to match that length with the length of the piece of wood that's on the other side of the fence that does all the work. So I'll just go ahead and use the business side piece of wood to mark the length on the other 2 pieces of wood, and then I'll cut everything down to size. So for the short side, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay the middle piece across the top of the fence and then use that to mark my line for where I need to cut that piece of wood down. And then I'm going to leave a piece sticking up for a handle to go in place there, which is going to come up to about a 2-inch wide top section. Could just make this a straight square like a normal person, but for some reason I wanted to put an angle here. Thought it would pretty up the design a little bit. So I went for it. Then I just chop that off over there at the bandsaw. Alright, so I have my pieces here. They cut out, they're looking good. I like the progress so far. Now it's time for me to put them together. Now what I'm going to do to put them together is I'm going to use wood glue and as well as wood screws to hold these together. Now I could do this over at the bench and it probably will go just fine, but I think the most effective way to put this together to make sure everything lines up perfectly and goes to plan will be to put it together right here where it's made to be used, right here on the table saw, on the fence. I think that'll make sure everything lines up perfectly. Now the problem with that is when I use wood glue, it's going to squeeze out, it's going to get on my table saw fence. I don't know how they're going to react together, if they're going to bond and want to stay together for the rest of their lives, or if they're going to peel right off. So I have a backup plan for that. I'm going to use this. It is mold release. It's made for like epoxy molds and stuff like that. I'm going to spray this on there, and hopefully when the glue sticks to it, I'll just be able to peel it right off and wipe it down with some paste wax, and we'll live happily ever after. I don't think that they made this product with this in mind, so hopefully it works. I don't see anything that says that it isn't going to work, but I don't see anything on the instructions that says it is either. So hopefully this won't be a terrible idea. Stay tuned and we'll find out. So while this thing is held together with clamps and the glue is drying, I'm going to go ahead and drill out a couple holes and fill them with screws on both sides. Specifically on this side, you want to make sure your screws are recessed beyond the surface of this piece of wood, because this here's the side where your blade's going to come up, and you don't want your blade to come up and nick the head of a screw that's sticking out from this piece of wood. So make sure these are recessed in there nice and tightly. Then after I got it all screwed together, I ended up pulling it off the fence anyway, and the glue wasn't dry yet, so I was just able to wipe it off. So I did all that worrying for nothing. Alright, so here it is. It's pretty darn tight. I'm going to hit it with some paste wax and see if that loosens it up a little bit, makes it a little bit easier to slide it back and forth. If not, I'll just run some sandpaper on the inside edges, and that should be fine. Loosen this up a little bit. Let's get to it. Still pretty tight, so I'm going to hit it with a sander on the inside and see if I can loosen that up a bit. Alright, a little more sanding done. That's pretty good right there. Nice gentle tug on it. Should be it's nice and tight yet, so it don't wobble around, but it's still easy enough to push back and forth. I like it. Let's get to the next step. So now what we'll do is we'll find the middle of this thing. We are a 32nd short of 13 inches. So we'll call it 6.5. That should be fine. And I'm going to take my triangle, make some 45-degree angles from that center point. Boom. And boom. So for the V bracket here, I went with 2.5 inches wide. Then I cut a 45-degree angle right down the middle of that thing. Then I lopped off the ends to make it long enough to go right up to the end of the face of this jig. And then I just glue and clamp them onto the jig with that 45-degree angle at the bottom of the jig. And as I'm gluing and clamping these pieces to the face of this jig, I'm being careful to make sure that these pieces are right on the lines that I drew with our square. Alright, so I've given it a couple hours for the glue to dry. I don't think it's completely 100% dry, so I'm going to keep the bottom clamps on. I took the top clamps off, and I'm going to put some screws in up here. I want to make sure that I don't put any screws down here, because if I put screws down here in this, I can raise the table saw blade up high enough that they end up touching the screws. With this type of table saw, that's going to be a big problem, so we don't want to do that. The table saw blade comes out of the table 3 1/8 of an inch. The top of this is almost 3 1/2. So as long as I'm above this, I should be fine. So I'm going to put 2 screws in here, but what I need to do is find where this is back here, because I don't want to miss it. So how do you find that angle? Could do it this way, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. Another way to find it, if you don't have that, would be to measure how high this is and then go the same length across here, put a dot there, and then just draw a straight line between the 2 spots. This here should work to get me exactly where the top is. So that's where the top of this is on this side. So what I'll do is I'll just drill and screw in screws just underneath that line. Because of this side here is going to be a challenge, so I might have to angle them in just a bit. So I'm going to start slightly above the line. With hindsight being 2020, it might actually be easier to install these and then put the entire jig together over top of the fence. And now it's time to make a handle for this thing. I literally made this out of a piece of 2x4 that I just milled down to get some prettier dimensions, and then I ran it across a round over bit on the router table to pretty up the edges, soften them up a little bit, make them a little easier on the hand, and then just went ahead and glued and screwed it to the jig. Alright, so there it is. It's still a little bit tighter than I'd like it to be. I'll probably hit the inside of it with a sander and then get to using it for the first time. It's ready to go. One thing about using this jig, I won't be able to use this guard because of everything that's basically above the blade. But I will still be able to use a riving knife. One of the things I appreciate about SawStop that I did not have over my old table saw was the ability to change this out in literally 20 to 30 seconds. It's so easy to change this out, where my old table saw, it was all bolted together and it was like a 20-minute job. Alright, that's the first and only test cut I'm going to take with this thing. I'm ready to throw in a nearly finished piece and start cutting it up with it and see how it goes. Alright, now that we got the slices out of it, it's time to fill those slices up with some pieces of wood. For this, I just went with a thin slice of framing lumber and then I thinned it down to the perfect thickness with the drum sander. Then just sliced and diced a couple corners out of it with the bandsaw. Then I just overloaded those gaps with glue the whole way across them, and then just slide those pieces of wood in there. And there's a lot of glue squeeze out, so I just wipe away the glue squeeze out and just make sure that that piece of wood is slid the whole way into that groove, or else you end up with a little gap there if it don't go the whole way in. But you want to make sure you get a good glue spread throughout that whole gap, that way you get a good bond the whole way through it. Then when it dries, just chop off the excess at the bandsaw. You can use a hand saw too if you want. I just find this to be super easy for me. Then just sand it nice and smooth when you're ready to go over the whole piece for sanding. And this is what it looks like when you make a spline and a miter joint. It'll be much stronger than a normal miter joint and it'll last you a lifetime. And in my opinion, I think it looks way better like this too. But that is it for this build. If you like this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button there down at the bottom of the video. And if you want to see more videos like this one, hit the subscribe button and go to the channel and check out the other videos there. But thank you for watching, and until next time, make something awesome.